are live. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And a huge welcome to Shawn from the South African community, taking his time to be here with us today to do some TA. And wow, thank you, everybody, for being here. It's so nice to see so much energy. I thought people would be on holiday, but you know what? Crypto never sleeps. So here we are, and Shawn, thank you for your time.
Never sleep.
I'll hand it over to you. So I'll be taking questions as we go. Please do drop your questions in the chat. Hashtag WMO for myself and Shawn. And Shawn, I know you've got a lot to say, so take it away. I'm very excited. Thanks again.
Amazing. So I think I'll start with welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and great to be with you guys again. So, yeah, I think I'll start off with the Bitcoin chart as usual, because that's the main daddy of all the cryptocurrencies. And just what I saw in the charts earlier today, what I'm expecting, we had quite a nice large move up to that $16,700 area. And it actually touched some of my areas of interest. And I'll show you how I find those areas. And also, you know, one of my favorite things to trade. I put this out on my Twitter account this morning, and Cameron, there you are. What's up, Cam? He was saying, I was saying I took the SFP, and if you don't know, an SFP is a swing failure pattern. That basically means that it took out a previous low, and that the wick, you can see this particular wick here, actually took out this low, and it took out, let me just scroll across there. No, you don't want to scroll across. And it actually took out this low right over there. So what happens with the swing failure pattern is that when it takes out these lows and you see a very quick wick up that actually closes above the previous lows. There you can see, if I expand my chart a little bit, that on the 30-minute, and even if you probably look on the 15-minute, that candle close was above this previous low and was above this previous low. So what's happening here, and I'll show you on the order flow charts as well, is that people are expecting a breakdown. So they're seeing price come down and they are shorting it like nobody's business. And when they're busy shorting this, the whales come in and see, oh, this is a level, excuse me, I should be pointing out to this candle here. This is a level that I want to buy at, and they place a huge order, and all of the liquidity of those people expecting the breakdown and coming into the market with sells, the whales buy into that, and that's what you get here in this very, very quick wick up. So what you can do, I originally missed the swing failure pattern, and yeah, you basically had a second opportunity to enter the market. So let me switch this off here so that it's not confusing. If you pulled a Fibonacci from the low of that wick to the pivot of that move, right there, you can see there's the pivot. You can see we had a retracement right to that Fibonacci golden pocket, and that's where I came in. We had a
just for the newbies.
Lower. Yeah.
Bring them in. Don't you want to just open up the 4-hour so we can just, show them on a little bit of a simpler level. Nice little breakdown there. On Ethereum, we had a nice breakdown of that upward sloping kind of channel. And yeah, it's easy charting, I think, on the 4-hour at the moment. 1 hour, obviously, is where you need to look for your entries. I even looked to the 15-minute. But yeah, that's perfect. So let's have a look at that.
Awesome. Yeah, there you can see that purple line, that SFP. That's the last low that it took out for me, and I look at it then on a smaller time frame. So it's always good to zoom out, you know, because if we just get stuck on this range, I mean, Bitcoin's been trading in this range now since the 16th of December, and it's been a very, very tight range. You know, it's been tradable, but the movements haven't been that large. So, and I think this is where a lot of people really, really get unstuck. They see price moving in these smaller ranges. They enter large positions. They get impatient, and they end up getting taken out by the chop. That means the market is choppy and it's not trending in any specific direction. And Jordan, it's good that you say look at the 4 hour, because if we focus on the smaller time frames, we can see there's price movement here, but what's happening on the bigger time frame? Let's go to a weekly.
I think what you said is very important. It's a difficult market at the moment. It's a little bit undecisive, and the choppiness will catch you. So when it is choppy like this, you just have to make sure that you are going for those ultimate entries. So that's why I said hop to the 4 hour. I see you don't have your RSI there. On my 4 hour RSI on Ethereum, we broke out of that channel. Now we're actually going down towards oversold. And in terms of ultimate positions, you wouldn't enter anywhere unless the 4 hour on that asset is actually in your favor on the RSI. And if I'm looking back just on RSI, I can see that every single entry on the 4 hour on Ethereum has been in the right place. So, because it's so choppy, you just want to make sure you're ultimately positioned in the right direction. And I think for me, the most basic, look at that RSI. So of course, you're not really going to go short. I think, jump to Ethereum.
Yeah, you don't want to go short at that point there.
So just keep that big RSI in mind. I've been using it a lot. And I think for the newbies, just don't go against the larger trend. And that will be told by your RSI. Of course, your RSI can hover around in overbought or oversold for quite a while, but at least if you're positioned in the right direction from there, you're much more likely to not get stopped out, basically, because it's so choppy and directions are not that strong. But basically what you can see there on Ethereum is an upward sloping channel. And if you actually had caught the long from the top of that channel, let me quickly measure it. It's actually quite a nice, short. It was almost a 4% to where we are now. And that's also quite simple TA. And the RSI didn't quite reach the top, but there was a divergence on the RSI. There was that like shark fin. You can kind of see it. Is that your stochastic? Yeah.
That's a stochastic. I basically use this for divergences. If I can't spot any CVD divergence, I actually use Awesome Oscillator and sometimes the stochastic RSI. As you guys know, I don't like a lot of indicators on my charts normally. So this for me is normally a last resort if I can't see too much. And if I see CVD divergence going on, and I'll explain that a little bit later on, and I see divergence on Awesome Oscillator and stochastic RSI or RSI, then it's just more confirmations for me to enter the trade. Yeah,
makes sense. All right, so we'll look at Ethereum just now, and I'll share my screen also. Cool. That you keep going. I'll take some questions shortly.
Awesome. Cool. So we had a swing failure pattern of the lows. We had this low taken out. And it took some time for this trade to play out. But really what you could have done, as I said, you would draw your Fibonacci from the low of this wick to the pivot over there. You can see there, that's where the pivot is. And we had a retrace right to the golden pocket. Then for me, I went and changed over to a smaller time frame, like in the 5 minute. And you go and have a look at the market structure, even the 3 minute or 1 minute. And you can see we had a nice bullish market structure here. Higher lows forming and higher highs forming. So that for me was a very good thing. So you can even see a retracement here, and we started moving up right up until, where's my BD Vels? We actually had a move right up to the daily NPOC. So for those that don't know, POC is a point of control, and an NPOC is a naked point of control, which means that there was a big area of liquidity from previous days, and price is normally drawn to areas of liquidity. So for me, I get my NPOCs from my TPO
slowly. Shawn, I know there's a lot of newbies online. So POC, let's break it down. No, you're doing very, very well. But POC, what does it do? How does it act? How do we use it?
Okay, let me turn off some of these. You can see here that I've got my Turn those off. So you can see I've got in the blue line here, range value area low. In the red line, range POC, range value area high. So if we were to plot this range, this entire range on TradingView, what you would do is you would go to indicators and you would type fixed range or volume profile fixed range. My bad, fixed range volume profile, not the lonesome. Let me take that off my favorites.
So basically, put very simply, POC is the point, the price point at which the most trading has happened, whether it's buys or sells. And what we find usually is that price comes back to that POC like an elastic band, and that's how we use it to trade.
Correct. So if you go to indicators and you type fixed range, then it doesn't work if you're on a free account. I'm on a free account. So come to your tools on the right-hand side, and here we've got long, short positions.
There is a free one. It's called, it's by Lonesome. You just type fixed range volume profile.
Yeah.
It will pop
this
up.
one,
Also.
this one right there. So I've put it into my favorites, and what you do is you look at where the price dropped into this range. Here you can see we had a previous range there, and we dropped into the range. So you draw it from the very first candle that dropped into the range, pull it all the way to the end, and click again. So there you can see exactly. Okay, and my range value area low is moved. So I'm going to mark it down there, and that's my point of control. So you can see there these blue and these yellow bars are where most of the volume have actually taken place. So in your value area high and your value area low, I think is where 70% of all of the volume has transacted within this entire range. So the likelihood that you'll get reversals at your range value area low is good. And obviously you can see we've had a deviation below there. And the likelihood that you have a reversal for possible short at the range value area high is also very big.
Take profit. That we've the big wicks on the short volume above us. There's no volume above us, but it is very bearish. We'd rather bounce to support volume than up, and there's no volume existing. So I hope everyone following. Basically, complicated to draw your own value area. You can use the fixed range, and then whatever time frame you'll volume is, and what we'll see is that we use it in the way that it flips. Basically, we'll bounce along it as support, and the POC is always flipping around. When it flips from support to resistance, when we get our nice trade. When it flips from resistance to support, that's when we get our nice trade. All right, hope everyone's following. Let me take some questions.
Exactly. So I normally switch off that fixed range and just draw it with raise so that there's just less information on the chart. See if there's questions.
Yeah, let's have a look. So, Lookman, thank you for that. POC. Let's see. Okay, we've got some TA here from Pinnacle. BTC perfectly went down extremely near development of a bullish Gartley design. Potential reversal zone of bullish Gartley pattern is coming at 16,425. So a lot of people are looking at 16,425. A bounce is expected. The plan is simple as marked in the chart. Nice, Pinnacle.
I would agree with that. Check where my daily level is, 16,429. So that's very in line with your 16,425. Why a daily level there? Go to the daily chart. You can see that we've had a candle open and close right at that point, and that's where I've marked that daily level. Now, obviously, we've got a weekly level above, but yeah, I would agree that daily level at sorry, my apologies. That 16,429 is quite a significant one. So I took a long earlier today and took profits as it's reversed, and I'm not looking to long here. I want to see what the reaction is at that daily level. If that doesn't hold, look down to the weekly level and that daily level at 16,203. Always look at the reaction. On the smaller time frames, I normally go to a 30-minute or a 15-minute to see what the reaction is at that level and decide what to do.
Okay, so here's quite a nice question. Thanks for that, Shawn. Do you do TA with price action or with just indicators? So I think this is quite a cool question because from my understanding of your methodology, you would go in, first of all, with straight technical analysis, and then you would use the price action candle reading for confluence or to speak into what the indicators are saying. But that's just
Absolutely.
my guesswork. Or do you do any trades off do you open any trades off looking at, say, the 15-minute chart, reading the candles and seeing certain candle formations?
I don't go too much on candle formations. I used to trade like an evening star or a morning star reversal candle. So, for instance, this is an evening star reversal pattern. Also, it was a bit of a swing failure pattern that took place there because it took out that wick. But an evening
so that
star
in
reversal,
a generalized sense, when you're looking at swing failure patterns, yes, that is candle reading. So, I mean, I'm looking at this Ethereum chart now, and there's such a typical swing failure at the top of that 4-hour channel. And I think to answer that question is yes, it's embedded intuitively. The candle reading, once you get good at candle reading, then it's like a language. It's like you're just reading the candles all the time, embedded within your TA. So I think that's a nice question.
Absolutely. So for me, I look at my horizontal levels. That's a very important factor to me. So, for instance, I wouldn't be interested, and this is why I didn't take a short here earlier. When we got to, we got to this point here, because it's right in the middle of the range. I don't want to be trading from the middle of the range. I want to see price take out a significant high or a significant low. So we've already had a swing failure pattern earlier. So for me to take a long here wouldn't make sense. Why? Because a swing failure pattern is trading against other traders' positions. Those traders get trapped at the lows. That's exactly what happened here. Bigger traders come in and they push the price up. Those guys trapped at the lows start closing their trades up and they re-enter the market as long. So for me, I also look at my my order flow. This is exactly that candle that we went down to, that 16,555. Here you can see 1 million shorts trapped right at the low. That's 1 million.
So there's a question here. It's a bit of a cheeky one, but I like it. From Itza, he says, take any trade with 100x leverage live. So wait for the Discord, because that's what it's all going to be about. But now that Shawn's looking at the order flow, it's a nice system to try and understand. So basically, of course, we're not going to hop in a trade now. Things are not really looking right.
My $50 challenge is open. So I got stopped out in profit in my earlier trade. So
in profit.
100x is actually easy to trade on isolated. Why? Because if you look at the margin on 100x, it's a very, very small risk. It's if I see the trade.
So what I wanted to ask is, if we had to put you against the wall and say you have to open the trade right now, what would you use to decide where the bias is and which way to take that trade, long or short? At the end of the day, it's a 50-50. If you're going to go on 100x, you're going to set your take profit quite close. You're either going to get stopped out or you're going to win. So what would you use to open a trade right now? If you had to?
If somebody told me I have to open a trade right now, I'd tell them to go away, because the other person telling me to open a trade, I'm not trusting your TA. I'm going to trust what the chart is saying to me. So if I get confirmations on the chart, hey, I'll take the trade. Easy. So on Bitcoin,
But I also feel like, you know what? There's always a trade. There's always a trade. If you're good enough, you can always find something.
The thing is finding the trade. So this daily level is what I'm looking for. So if I see a touch here and a reversal and a market structure change on a smaller time frame, hey, I'll take the trade.
Okay, that was a nice question. Let's see if there's any other questions. So yeah, look out for the Discord, because I'm going to be 100xing it up, not on ALTS, on Bitcoin. I'm going to, I want to try to educate people about low margin.
Speaking about alts, what I've been watching lately is the Total 2, which is basically your altcoins. This is.
So someone just asked, actually, let me find it again. Who asked? Someone said, let's talk about dominance.
Yeah.
BTC
So
dominance.
this is your, I'm going to get into that. So total 2, these are all of your altcoins. Your total crypto cap is all of your altcoins and BTC. And as you can see, if you zoom out, this is sitting right at a support. So if it had to lose this level right here, BTC and alts are going to crash really, really hard. So if we look at total 2, which is your altcoins, which is sitting right at a precipice at the moment. If we lose this daily level right here, altcoins are going to dump really, really hard. So you can see there's a daily level. So if we come and do this right there, they're gonna dump really, really hard. So I've been watching this altcoin market, or this altcoin dominance, and yeah, just seeing where the ranges are.
So instead of BTC.
Yeah, so BTCD also comes into play. When BTC dominance is going up, then your altcoins are normally dumping. When BTC dominance is going down, your altcoins are normally going up. So
depending also on what BTC is doing.
Say again?
Okay. Oh, depending also on BTC. Altcoins against BTC.
You're going to look at what BTC is doing. So I've been favoring shorts on the altcoins that I've been trading when BTC was in this range. Because when BTC is ranging and not doing much is when you normally get movements on the altcoins. So for instance, when BTC dropped down here, I stay out of the altcoins. When there was a move up there, unless I'm already in a trade that goes the same direction as BTC, I wouldn't take a trade. So I'm out of all of my trades right now.
Here, Lalit, Shawn talked about CVD indicator earlier. What is it? Can you explain more?
So right here, where we had this move down to that 16,555, CVD stands for cumulative volume delta. So delta is the difference between the longs and the shorts. So basically what happens on CVD is that if your indicator, this is the CVD indicator, and I use coinalyze.net, and you can go, works exactly the same as TradingView, and this is a free version, so you can go search for C cumulative volume delta, add it to your chart, and there it is for free. So I'm going to close this one out. So basically what happens is when the smaller participants in the market are thinking that there's going to be a breakdown of price, you can see here right at that 16,555, we had a little move up and a very big move down. And you can see that by your open interest increasing. So that means that people were trying to possibly short this breakdown over here, and the indicator was making a lower low. But look what was happening to price. While the indicator was making a lower low, the price was actually making a higher low. And that normally is an indicator that the larger market participants or the whales are actually holding the price up.
And so we can't do this on TradingView. We have to go to Coinalyze.
Can't do it on TradingView. TradingView doesn't have this. It's got OBV, which is on balance volume, but for me this is far more accurate. And it's very nice to
quite a lot. Divergences you always nail.
Yeah, so there it is. There's your lower low on your indicator, and there's your higher low on price right at the same point. So I use this very much in conjunction with order flow. So by the way, this, if you guys haven't seen this software is called ATIS. It is free for crypto, and it tells you where the buys and sells are within the candles. So this is each of these is a 30-minute candle, and I've changed this to a delta view. So here I can see at this point 24 million BTC contracts in volume, and the delta was negative 7 million. So that was a move down there, and I could see, there you can see, massive sells right at the bottom of the candle as price moved up.
But if it sells at the bottom of the candle, then how did the price come back up?
So what happens is that, remember, we've had the CVD here. So, okay, so let me just draw this for you. We had a higher low on price, but we had a lower low on CVD. So the smaller participants were trying to short at the bottom of the candles, and there you can see 615,000 at the bottom of that candle, 490. So the bigger participants were actually holding up the price because they were seeing that the market participants were trying to get the breakdown of price over there. So what happens is
it's a nice X-ray. I see you've simplified it a little bit. You say this is the delta view.
That's it. The bigger participants are then pushing the price up. So these guys that have shorted there will have their invalidation. So above maybe those highs, they'll close out their shorts, and those shorts will re-enter as long, and eventually price will get pushed up.
So you're also looking for kind of swing failures in these candles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is just the cherry on the cake, this order flow. As you can see here, again, into the highs. Guys were seeing the price going up, coming in late, trying to long the breakout, and those guys are trapped.
And so the shorts at the top did really well then. It wasn't much, but there were some shorts at the top.
They did well.
Okay.
So the way
it's awesome. It's like an X-ray of the candles.
Definitely. The way that you see a swing failure pattern playing out is you see longs trapped at the top of the candles, and all of a sudden demand turning up to the opposite side. And there you can see all of those greens are the longs, or the delta, the positive delta to the top of the candles. Right at the top of the candles, these guys get trapped, and all of a sudden there's a demand for shorts turning up massively. So this
question, I think, might play nicely to what we're discussing. From Zayu, do you use any indicators on getting the various levels? He's talking about horizontal levels, or is it done manually?
It's done manually, definitely.
So I think, for myself too, I go to the monthly chart. I look for the biggest wicks. I look for candle bodies that are lining up. I draw in the absolute biggest lines. Or what you can do is just go to the monthly and draw in the POC, value high, value low, and do the same with the weekly like Shawn does, same with the daily. But there are indicators that you can use to get those levels.
Absolutely.
I don't think they're involved in our personal strategies, but nice question.
Yeah. Shall I show you quickly how to do that?
It's an indicator because we're using the fixed range volume to find our main POC, and that will be our major level from that time frame. So yeah, that is an indicator.
So I draw my levels where a candle is open and closed at the same point. So there is a monthly level for me. So right click on that, templates. There's my monthly level.
So what that shows on a big time frame for the newbies basically is support turning into resistance. Basically, candle bodies lining up. Yeah, they're always going to be a strong level, and especially on a higher time frame. If you get a big wick, you can draw it in. If you get two big wicks at the same level, you can draw it in. And a lot of traders actually only draw horizontal lines on candle bodies, not on wicks. And I think, Shawn, you might be one of them.
I've drawn candle bodies. Yeah. So this is a weekly level right there.
So I'm going to ask this question now because I think I'm also curious to know, and I think this is obviously what's on everyone's minds, and I do have a level that I have put forward, quite publicly, but Crypto Queen, I think she's new to our streams. Where will the Bitcoin floor be that we as investors should invest, or just let the time come to enter? She's basically asking, when is the entry point? When is the bottom? Is there any point in DCAing right now, or is it just certain that we're going to go lower? What's the point in buying anything now if we are going to 12 or 14?
It's not certain that we can go lower. Anything can happen in the space. So I'm looking at the traditional markets, and I'm looking at what the US is doing with trying to curb inflation. And what they normally do? They try and print extra dollars for their monetary policy, and that's not always good for the economy in the long range. So I'll show you my levels that I am looking at. There's my levels below 15K. So these are based on historical levels. Let me go to a weekly chart. So those are levels. I always say trade the levels until they break. So you can see my levels below the current low of 15,450, 14,838, and 13,808, 13,227. I'll see what price does when it gets to those levels. Now, obviously,
but already we
no
can see
data.
In terms of a floor, the last wicks to the top we have were, just above 12,000 there. And in terms of a floor, to me, I mean, we're obviously looking towards that 10,000 level, 9,000 level.
Yeah. And I
but
think why
I also don't think we have to go there. I don't think we have to. I think that's what the TA is saying. It might happen mid-year next year, but we could just flip around and go up from any point.
Exactly. And why a lot of people say 9,000, 10,000 is look at that level there. These levels were resistance back in 2019, back in 2020.
Only support. So there's nothing else.
That's going to act as support. And the other thing that is quite interesting to me, why I think, for me, I'm looking at that $9,000, $10,000 area. Could we go lower than that? Of course we could. That's why I've got the levels marked out here. I'll start buying Bitcoin lower than the current prices that we're at. Could that be a wrong decision? Of course, we could reverse here. You can see
But then you can always hop on the trend once we're in the bull market again, and that's fine too. So it depends on your risk appetite. Depends on how much you have to invest over which period you're looking to invest. And if you are looking to invest for the next 2 to 5 years, then just look at that chart, zoom out, and look at the levels that you want to buy at for ultra profits. And you know what? If you can earn Bitcoin in some way and compound it, then that's even better. Like what I've been doing with my BTC USD.
Yeah.
Whenever I profit, I don't cash out my BTC because BTC isn't at prices now you want to cash it out. You want to hold it for the next few years. And, it's a completely different strategy to my inverse perpetuals where it's about taking profits and actually using that money to pay for things. Whereas if you're compounding, any profits you can take and add to your Bitcoin number where it's either 0.1 or, if you can hold one Bitcoin, this has been a huge goal for many people. And, if you can hold a Bitcoin for 10 years, is that going to serve you? I think so. That's my own opinion, but it's investment and it takes extreme discipline. All right, so very nice.
So just coming back to your question, this is the BTC CME futures. So, and there's always gaps up and down. Why I think that $9,000, $10,000 area is significant is that there's a gap that has not been filled between that 10,000 and that $9,750 area. These gaps always get filled. So, and there is a significant support.
So this is a question, an interesting question. Shiraz, what is the best price for buying BTC on spot? So let's talk about this because, of course, it's 10,000. But you know what? You might not buy anything if you just set a limit at 10,000. What if we don't get there? So the idea
might not go to 10,000. Exactly.
The idea, I'll give my strategy on this. So it's not about the best price. It's about making a ladder. And what you can do with this ladder, so what I do in my ladders is I will literally say I want to invest in Bitcoin over the next few years. From this price, I will ladder down every few $100. I will set a buy. And every few $100 that buy will increase incrementally in size. You can decrease the buys. There are different DCA strategies. But basically what happens then is if we get a wick, and I'll take my buys all the way down to literally 0, so that if we get a wick on Bitcoin, I will catch the lowest buy that I possibly can and come into profit. And my opinion is that we will easily break 20K in the future. So any of these limit order buys that I buy now below 16K, for me, are relatively good buys. Of course, it's not financial advice, but it's not about setting a specific buy price. It's about actually creating a mechanism, and that's why these grid bots are so good. And for those of you who use Bybit Pro, I know only for the expert traders, but you can set an automatic ladder of 60 buys, and it automatically incrementally increases it. absolutely amazing. So that's where it's at. Use a bit of AI, get into the idea of the grid bots. I mean, people who set grid bots on BTC are making huge cash because we've actually trended upwards with very nice volatility. All right, so very nice question. Let's see, we are at 23 minutes left. So start dropping your altcoins. Make sure they're interesting. Let's see if there's stuff that we can actually trade. So if you've been screening altcoins for shorts or longs. Oh, Christian, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you, and well done. Well done for everything you've been doing.
What's up, Christian?
Okay, so let's see. Okay, we've been getting this. So I think okay, let Shawn answer this. From Gibson, what type of indicator did you use to set your take profits and stop losses?
So I use my levels, and I use those range POCs, and also sometimes Fibonacci. So especially the golden pocket. You know, it's different for every single trade. For instance, this trade that I took here. Okay, I'm on the wrong chart here. Let me just go back to BTC USD.P. Yeah. So right here, this daily NPOC is where there was a reversal. And I think I actually put it in the Bybit South Africa Telegram group. I said, I'll look for the reaction at this daily NPOC. If we go through it, I'll look to take profit close to that range POC. So what you could have done, and actually why I thought this range POC would come into play, is because if we draw a Fibonacci from the top of this wick to the low of that move, look where the golden pocket's sitting, right at that range.
I think
POC.
Fibonacci is the key for take profits, Gibson. You need to get comfortable with it. I mean, you can make clusters along your time frame. You know, it doesn't even have to just be on your price action. You can do Fibonacci channels. But basically what Shawn's finding here is confluence between his levels that he's mapped out on larger time frames and golden ratio levels. And when you find those clusters, those are the take profit zones, 100%.
Have a look at this. I'm going to turn off some of these other levels. That's just that fib, and let me switch off that local range. That's just a standard Fibonacci. Look how these levels have been respected. That 382, the 0.5. So you could have seen a rejection at that 0.5 and said, okay, this is a great place to take profit. So yeah, these fibs come into play tremendously. And as you start doing TA more and doing trades more, you'll find what works for you. And yeah, what I do doesn't work for everybody. So this works for me.
So nice question here. In terms of fundamental analysis, I also saw that Michael Saylor bought a bit of Bitcoin. So this is from Donadras with the recent add up of BTC. So now how much does he have? 42. But how much does he have? Okay. Someone dropped for us on the group, how much Bitcoin does MicroStrategy currently hold now? But basically what Donadras is asking is, should we expect bullish movement after this? So it's actually so nice to see some positive stuff coming into the market. But you know what? He's DCAing. He's adding to his bags. And
absolutely,
yeah, he's a little bit up and down on the market. But at the end of the day, he always buys the lows. And he does sell the highs a little bit. So don't be fooled that he doesn't sell highs. But you know what? Those are long-term views. MicroStrategy is one of the biggest investment firms literally in the world. And why wouldn't they take advantage of Bitcoin as an asset? And it is. It's very, very bullish. I don't know if it's enough bullish momentum to pull us up above 20 again and give us a boost. But you know what? In the new year, I do feel like there is going to be some kind of bullish momentum. Even if we do have to have a very dark year, I think that our bottom might be next year, May, somewhere there. Some dark times. Even if we have to go through those, it's fine. We're going to be outperforming the market the whole time. That's basically the point. Let me see if anyone dropped. 4 billion. Yeah, so I know it's $4 billion, but how? Okay, so it's 132,500
Bitcoin. Yeah. That's a lot of Bitcoin.
So that's a lot of Bitcoin. And that's a huge positive just to tell the world, like, yeah, it's a huge positive.
I saw another tweet that I can't remember the stat, but he holds like like a 1 in every 100 Bitcoin or something like that. It might be less than that.
Yeah, and there's that awesome visual graphic that I used to show everyone where it shows how much Bitcoin is held by the fishies and how much Bitcoin is held by the whales. I'll show it again sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think let's get on to altcoins. We've spoken about Bitcoin quite a lot. Is there anything else, Shawn, that you want to say about Bitcoin?
Yeah, just it's a very, very difficult market at the moment to make money in. So, if you're starting out, guys, please don't throw all of your capital into this. You can paper trade on Tradingview. So right at the bottom here, go paper trading, and you can do paper trades and test your strategies out before you actually put real money into the market. Or, put money in that you can afford to lose. So like with my little
$1 trades,
my DGen challenge, $50 into this account. Man, I can play with it. I can trade with it on 100x and use half of the account. If I lose it, it's okay. Because this is bonus.
I recently heard a story of someone taking $50 to $1 million. So
that's my goal, Jordan. Come on.
It's possible. And, I questioned it when I heard it. A friend of mine told me on the beach the other day. And then I went and did my research, and it was a UK guy. He took $50 and he made $1 million, and it took him a year. But I mean, how incredible is that?
Yeah, well, Sheldon, the sniper from Crypto Banter, I think he took $400 and turned it into $1 million. So there's guys that do it, but also a lot of these guys did it in a bull market. So remember, when the market starts reversing and you are trending and people are FOMOing in and the price is just pumping, it's going to be a lot easier to make money. So guys, preserve your capital at the moment. We're still in the bull market.
And the trend is your friend. A lot of you saw I opened shorts at 30,000, and those were nice to close. And I literally just opened them because of the bear trend. And sometimes it's that easy. Okay, so let's see here. Please, let's vote on these. We've got a lot of alts going, but let's vote on them. We've got GMT, we've got DOT, we've got Gala. Sure. I think DOT is quite cool. We've got Solana, we've got Filecoin. I think we must have a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum looks like it might be turning around to go a little bit bullish before getting rejected at the bottom of that channel again.
Oh, yep. Do you want to do ETH? I'll do DOT. That's on my watch list.
Yeah, so I don't think we can share at the same time. You'll have to stop.
Okay, I can switch off.
Sharing.
How do I'm not sure how to stop sharing here, Jordan. You can switch me off.
Oh, there. Okay, perfect. All right, so now you can all see this channel that I've been talking about, and you can see that I have chosen to get the bottom, and I drew this very quickly. I was half asleep when I drew it, and then I kicked myself when I didn't actually follow it, because I said, wow, there's such a nice, obvious channel here on Ethereum, all the way from the bottom wick there. I just said this is going to cause confluence. And let's look how I got this here. So we take these wicks along with all of these levels. And I mean, this is easy drawing. And what's so interesting here is how we can break out of a channel, create another channel, a whole nother trading scenario, and then break straight back into the channel with the same trading scenario. Absolutely amazing. And what I wanted to show here is RSI divergence. It doesn't always have to be a complete divergence against price action, but what I was talking about with positioning yourself correctly on RSI in a choppy market. So this is Ethereum. We can see very choppy, but there are opportunities. And these opportunities, you can see how I'm on the 4 hour. I've been locking onto the 4 hour lately. And basically, maybe I should go full screen. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to try and get my... I know there's a way. There we go. So that must look better. All right. Okay, so what I want to show you is that the entries here, they come at very specific times. We know what are good entries here, and just look at the RSI. So we had one nice entry here. Where was RSI? Deeply oversold. All right, we had another nice RSI entry here, deeply overbought. And yep, that was a nice trade. And then you just wait. You literally just wait. If there's nothing, then you don't take it. You don't take these weird choppy time trades. But look here, when I talk about a divergence, I talk about a shark fin. And here we literally had two. Also a double top, double swing failure. But what I'm talking about are these sharp patterns. And look here, when there's a sharp pattern, it causes a rejection. And Trader Giants actually taught me that these sharp patterns, shark fins, they actually represent a divergence. So a massive buy and then a massive sell. So here we can see that if you were just patient from the last short to here and you caught this shark fin, you would have got this nice, beautiful short. And as we can see, this is simple TA. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Of course, we'll use moving averages, bigger levels, etc. I'm just trying to show you what you can do with just a simple naked 4-hour chart, 4 lines, and your RSI. And a lot of people get distracted by too many indicators, and then you end up not even using these simple things. So that's why right now I say, look at this. There's a shark fin to the bottom. There's a little bit of bullish on Ethereum on the 4-hour. We could just come back into this kind of channel. But also, this channel has been quite significant for us here. So just be careful of the rejection. And then I do have a line here. And maybe I should quickly open up my trading view. I actually think that's all right for Ethereum.
I'm seeing a lot of swing failure patterns there, Jordan. So
yeah,
from looking at where price is at right now, I would want there where you had that previous big green candle touch on the lower trend line. I would want it to take out that previous low. Mm-hmm. Just go left. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so I actually saw on a signal group today, and someone actually dropped it in the South Africa group. It was quite interesting because I was tracking that just because I like to get ultimate entries. And when I talk about ultimate entries, I talk about resistance. I would much rather enter at resistance than a breakdown of a triangle. And this is just experience. I watched the moon for years and I got wrecked a lot, you know. So you can also win watching him, but he'll trade the breakout. And when you're trading a breakout, he often even takes the trade straight at the breakout. Technically, you'd be waiting for a retest. We did get a retest there. Let's see on the 1 hour. Don't worry about my hedge trade. Okay, so here we can see these levels are just perfectly playing out. And like I said, for me, I would much rather catch the ideal entry. Seem to have lost a line there. Let's go back to the 4 hour. So I would rather catch an entry from the top here at full resistance than any kind of breakout here. And I actually saw that someone was mapping this Ethereum short all the way down to the low. So I don't know who else is this bearish on Ethereum, but I saw this mapped out today, which was quite interesting, all the way down to there. And I think the stop was quite tight. I don't know if this will be, something that does play out, but basically, they are already very much in profit, so well done to everyone who is tracking that. Okay, so I think, Shawn, you can take over again. We've got some nice alt suggestions. Cool. I think if you just try share. Oh, they stopped sharing. Let me see which alts people are voting for. Okay, we were doing ETH. So we've got Matic. Nice, we did ETH. So Solana, I think, would be a nice one to do. Sol is at a dip of minus 7.3%.
So for those that don't know, there's been an activation of the Alameda Research wallets over the last few days, and a lot of the coins that are connected to Alameda Research and Sam Bankman-Fried have been dropping tremendously, and Solana is one of them. So you can see on the daily, massive dip. Personally, I wouldn't touch this coin right now. Maybe my risk isn't.
I absolutely can't believe it. I sold This is going to sound weird. I sold, all of my Solana just before the dip. I don't know why. I just did.
Wow.
And
That's amazing.
it's just, I had bought under, so I was in profit and I decided to take the profit. And sometimes, that was just luck. I just had a feeling about it.
Yeah. So Solana, you can see, okay, maybe we get a chart that's got a little bit more history. Okay, it is way past the support levels, even from May 2021. Let's see if we've got any monthly levels there. Yeah, there's no.
I bet a lot of people are buying. I'm sure right now.
I'm sure they are.
When I see a dip like that after selling, I think maybe I should take the profits and just buy some. But you know what? Also, when we see a dump like that, it can keep dumping down to the floor there. What's the floor?
Yeah, exactly.
What would that floor be? I saw $4 or
$1.63, $1.19.
At the top though, at the top, go up. $4 at the top of that last spike, the last bull market spike. And a little bit down, Okay,
over there, 7. No, let me move this up.
Go a little bit left.
341.
Yeah. There's a little there we go. 447. Okay. So I'll set a limit order for there to buy, because if you can buy there, be a nice pump, maybe.
That could be quite a look. We've got a daily support, historical support here, right where price is right now. You can see a daily open and close there, but that's historical. So remember, if a coin is trending a certain way, like Jordan was saying, it actually could just continue in that way. So right at the $10 level, we've got we've got a support level. So that really just has to hold. If you see that, and we've had actually quite a decent bounce there from 974. So let's go to the smaller time frame and just have a look there. Okay, we've got a small, tiny little range there. So let's draw a fixed range. Okay, let's take it from this red candle to there. Okay, so that range value area low has to hold there at 984. So you could possibly take a long trade there, but just watch your invalidation point. So I would maybe put the invalidation, a stop below that 963, there where that wick came in. Another thing you can actually look at, and something that I trade with quite a lot, is VWAP. So VWAP is volume weighted average price. And here you can see a lot of institutional traders use VWAP because it's volume based, and they always say that volume precedes price. There you can see on this 30-minute, and even if you probably swap it to a 1 hour, that VWAP has acted as resistance. Okay, we've had deviations there. That could have been a short, all the way down. So, and what I would do is watch the price here, because there's a level of confluence here where the range value area high is, that upper blue line, and this VWAP line. So if price comes up and takes out this range value area high and rejects that VWAP, that could actually be a nice place to short. So but historically, not a lot of support there. If this is your risk appetite, be my guest, not for me. Eh?
Yeah, it's a bit of a cowboy vibe right now. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes left. Let's do one more alt. Okay. I think I'll let you choose between Matic, Ton, and Dot.
Okay, let me do Dot, because I've actually got that on my chart. I've been watching it over the last couple of days. So we can see those are my levels that I'm looking at. And actually, we've had on the 1 hour. Come on, I keep on doing that. We've had on the 1 hour possibly a double bottom there. And let's look at our oscillators. Okay, so possibly a lower low there on the chart. Not quite. And our awesome oscillator is actually making higher lows. So let's see what RSI is doing. Okay, we could actually be having a bearish cross there at the moment. I want to see quickly what this is doing on. Okay, I've actually been trading Dash quite a lot lately as well. Let's have a look at DOT. I just want to see if I can see any CVD divergence on DOT and see what's happening in the candles. Okay, it's just taking a while to download the data. So, but basically, let's see if we've got any daily areas right here. We had a wick down on the daily, earlier today, almost down to that weekly, not quite touching that weekly area. But I would say our range, very, very small range there. Okay, so we're actually right at that range value area low. So this could actually be a nice long opportunity. I just want to see what it's actually doing on the order flow. Okay, there's no real CVD divergence here. Yeah, the indicator not really making any low lows, but we are making a higher low on price. So let's see what's happening in the data here. Okay. Oh, that was actually quite decent volume there. Yeah, this could actually not be a bad long trade. So if the Bitcoin price holds over here and doesn't break down past the levels that I showed you earlier, you can see 34,000 contracts opened up into the low. And if price moves up higher than that, then those guys will be trapped there. Very nice big volume, 182,000 going into the lows. So I think I actually might place this on my scalp list. See what's happening on the 15-minute, if there's been a small... Okay. Yeah, this could be a long trade. I would keep my eye on this. That's a nice coin to trade.
All right, very nice. So I think we'll wrap it up there. Unless there are any other urgent questions, please do drop them. Thank you for that, Shawn. And please, everyone, get involved in the Discord. Someone please drop for us the Discord link. Come and get involved. Hopefully, Shawn, we'll have you there showing us some of your live trading skills. It's going to turn into such an awesome hub. You know, we're positioning ourselves as the first exchange to ever really push live trading as a community. And I think it's going to be so profitable for all of us and educational at the same time. We are having a live stream also in the South African group tomorrow night. If you're keen for more TA, come and join us. And thanks again, everybody, for being here. It's been such an amazing session, such nice engagement, such nice turnout. I can't thank you all enough for being here. Wow, I'd like to mention every one of you, but it might take a while. So thank you, everybody. I will see you in the communities. Keep dropping your TA. And, you know, one of the reasons I'm so excited for the Discord is because there'll be a section, and we'll probably make it early in each session, where everyone will drop their TA and what they're trading and how they're trading it, and we'll go through it. And I think the power of community is about to be unleashed in that regard. Oh, there we go, Lalit. Thank you so much. So everybody come join the Discord. The permissions are being set up, and it's going to be on fire. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening further. We'll see you in the communities. And a huge thank you to you, Shawn, for sharing so much wisdom tonight.
Man. Appreciate it. I forgot to put on my channels. Last time you said, do I trade with trend lines? I do. And never, ever delete a channel. So you can see the middle of the channel being respected there. So, you know, do your TA, check your levels, check your indicators, and trade without emotion, tight stop losses, and remember to preserve your capital. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
There we go. Always play from a position of power and strength. For sure. Use a stop loss and don't get wrecked. Thank you, everybody. Please. Good night.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one. Chat soon.
You too. Cheers.